Okay, Donald Trump now is vowing to eliminate the income taxes on Americans living abroad. Now, you know that they've got what's called the Foreign Overseas Exclusion that has a limitation per person, and I'm gonna go over that with you. But he's talking about eliminating that threshold limit. And now he didn't specify whether he's because the overseas foreign overseas exclusions only on earned income, but it sounds like he's wanting to eliminate all taxes on actually not just earned income, investment income, everything if you live abroad. And it sounds like they didn't mention the number of days. If they're still going to stick with the limitation on the number of days that you have to be outside the U.S. to qualify for this. But anyway, this is part of what he's going to throw out there. But let me just explain to you a little bit about it. He's vowing to eliminate the income taxes on Americans living abroad. And y'all have probably heard that, he's throwing out a lot of these tax exemptions he's talking about no taxes on Americans abroad. In the latest in a series of Trump plans to cut personal tax bills, he's also floated exempting tip wages, overtime pay, and Social Security benefits from taxes. I don't know how they're going to keep doing this, because you're looking at this is going to be about $1 trillion a year, or 10 trillion over 10 years, and the debt's already through the roof. So you wonder how in the world, of course, they're doing everything they can to get these votes. And there's 9 million people that are overseas that are American citizens, and they're trying to get those votes in. Now, Donald Trump has campaigned on drastically reducing household and corporate tax bills if elected in a second White House term. Also, folks, if you can do us a big favor, we don't monetize this channel. If you can hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, you get new videos automatically as they come out. And also, if you can give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and also take the video and hand out some of your friends, it will help on the algorithm of our channel, and we'll get a lot more subscribers if you don't mind doing that for us. Okay, now Donald Trump said that he would end the income taxes on Americans living in other countries, the latest in a string of tax proposals in the final stretch of the 2024 campaign. Now, his pledge could simplify the tax obligations for U.S. citizens who live overseas. Americans, regardless of where they live in the world, have to file tax information with the Internal Revenue Service, and some expatriates are required to pay U.S. taxes in addition to levies in the countries where they reside. Now, Trump went on, he stated here, he says that I'm supporting ending the double taxation of overseas Americans. Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, said in a statement addressed to voters living abroad, and he stated, let's put American first together, register to vote, and vote Republican. Now, the pledge, which would require congressional approval, would reduce paperwork and potentially the tax bills for the roughly 9 million Americans the State Department estimates are living abroad. The former president's proposal was reported earlier by the Wall Street Journal. Now, the big problem with this is if he gets elected and he does eliminate taxes totally for someone leaving the country and they're out so much time of the year, the problem is Democrats have a tradition of if he gets voted out, they just bring it right back in again. This is the problem, unless you actually make it part of the Constitution. And the liberals are not going to be going for this, I can tell you. They get back in office, they'll just change it back. In fact, a lot of the tax cuts that he threw in, they're set to expire here fairly soon if he doesn't get reelected. So this is the problem that you have, is the liberals come in, they could knock the estate tax back to where it was back in 20 years ago, $3 or $4 million, and anyway, the government requires expats to file U.S. tax returns, but not all ended up owing money to the IRS. The tax code offers credits to offset the cost of federal taxes owed. In addition, people making at least $126,500 or less aren't required to pay any U.S. taxes. Now, and you notice they stated here, making it, they should have put earned income because it does not cover investment income on this tax credit. They left that off in the article. So, it only pertains to earned income. But still, advocates to change the taxation of Americans abroad say that these IRS rules are one reason why a few thousand people renounce their U.S. citizenship each year. And, a lot of people that are outside the U.S. that are not, they're not planning on going back to the U.S., they have been relinquishing left and right. I mean, more so than any time in the history of the U.S. is people literally relinquishing and getting out. Now, the U.S. tax rules also mean that it's generally higher earning Americans abroad who face tax bills. Now, Trump's plan, depending on how it's worded, could allow wealthy Americans to move to low tax countries and avoid any tax obligations. Now, the No Taxes on Americans Abroad pledge is the latest in a series of Trump plans to cut personal tax bills. He's also floated exempting tip wages, overtime pay, Social Security benefits from taxes. Now, Trump has campaigned on drastically reducing household and corporate tax bills if elected to the White House for a second term. Now, he's also championed the renewal of his 2017 tax overhaul, much of which is set to expire at the end of next year. The amounting proposals would likely exceed $10 trillion over a decade. That's $1 trillion a year, according to a committee for a responsible federal budget. Now, Trump's plan to cut the tax bills for citizens living abroad outside the U.S. Stands in contrast to his business proposals, where he would offer lower taxes to companies that operate domestically. Companies that manufacture offshore would face higher tax rates, would face tariffs if they seek to sell their products, to the U.S. consumers. Now, the Republican nominee has said he would push to lower the corporate tax rate to 15% from 21%, only for companies that produce inside the U.S. Widespread tariffs are also central to Trump's economic plans. Last month, he threatened to impose steep import duties on U.S. farm machine maker John Deere. Actually, it's called Deere & Company now. If the company moved, the manufacturing operation to Mexico, he hates these companies moving outside the U.S. Anyway, folks, if you're looking, you want to get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 4 to 8 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. We don't monetize the channel. This can help us a lot, and give us a thumbs up if you like our videos. And again, get these videos out to your friends. That would help us a lot. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.